The whole concept of the wound and the father wound, it just didn't resonate with me. And you know, I was fortunate enough to have Saji in my group, and when I told the story about this guy who stepped into my life at a critical time, you know, I had just gotten my second DWI, and I thought I was beating the system. I lost my license in New Jersey, and I moved up to Vermont. And I remember my dad saying to me, God's going to use this for good, you know, and that was surprising to me from my father, because he was going through his own spiritual awakening at the time, but prior to that he really hadn't talked to me much about his faith. But I just felt the overwhelming grace in that moment. And when I went up to Vermont, you know, my brother and I were fixing up houses, and I said, I need to really learn how to be a better craftsman. So I took a job with a guy who was fixing up his house, and he laid off his whole crew, and he just hired one guy on for the winter. And I blew him off the first day because it was a great bump day, and I went skiing. And I called him back, and he said, hey, I want to go skiing yesterday too, I understand, come on over, you know. And he just gave me the one-on-one mentoring and pouring into my life that my father couldn't, because we had 7 kids and 4 boys right in a row. And Saji really helped me see that it was a critical, you know, wound that I had that didn't feel like a wound, actually, because I have this amazing father that I refused to think wasn't amazing. He's a remarkable man, you know, really powerful man in the community, and just a great role model. But that really helped me to understand, you know, the desire to mentor and help and pour into other people, you know, but the name that God gave me was actually not a mentoring coaching role. It was Timothy, you know, and I was thinking about Timothy, and it was, you know, coming alongside of great men to, you know, share the gospel, spread the good news, more of a support role, but also in a learning role. And some of my coaching, I was counseling a young guy, and I said, who's pouring into your life? And I realized, I said, I stopped and I said, well, who's pouring into my life? And I was so focused on being the teacher that I wasn't being a student. And I think that, you know, God's saying, you know, support these men who are doing great work, these women that are doing great work, and be humble and learn, you know, because I've got much to show you. And that's what He revealed to me.